And who are the key people in this? It's the program managers, the division chiefs concerned, and the record section. The second key issue is that nobody takes charge of the facilitation of MCs when the program manager is not around. Who are the available key people in this? It's the division chiefs and staff within the concerned division. The third key issue is that the change of contact numbers of field officers are being done without informing the PO and the RO. And the key people are the field officers concerned, the cluster head, the admin aide. The fourth issue is that there is no notice from RO for email MCs to the POs. And the key people are the program managers themselves and the records unit again. And the fifth issue is that field officers are not informed on new issuance of new MCs by the PO. And the key people are the PO and the field officers. Now, what we have identified these possible questions regarding the untimeliness of the distribution or dissemination of the MCs. First is, why is timeliness important? Second, who are the persons or offices concerned? Third, how can the department address the issue? Fourth, when should these MCs be distributed to the POs? Fifth, how long does it take? And lastly, how important is the routing process and how can it be improved? So we have focused, Sir RD, on this key question to address, and it's the last one, which is how important is the routing process and how can it be improved? And let me turn you over to
Okay, good afternoon once again. So as Jane presented our key issues, this will be actually, if these key issues will be answered successfully, these desired outcomes will be attainable. So of course, we will be having an on-time disseminations of memorandum circulars to field offices. Thus, there will be a timely submission of reliable reports that will result to a satisfied program managers, the PDs, and the RD, of course. With this long list of desired outcomes, we came up with this key result as the memorandum circulars are distributed to field offices on time. This main result will be achieved if the prerequisites or the requirements will be attainable also. So first, we have to observe a routing process schedule, and there will be assigned another staff or the personnel in the division to revise memorandum circulars when the program managers are not around. So if this main result will be achieved, then the benefits will be, there will be a compliance, of course, of the memorandum circulars, and there will be a timely submission of our reports. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I will be reporting regarding the preferred options, and then we came up with three actually. The first option is if the PM is not around, then ask permission from the head of office if the MC or the directive can be disseminated to field officers. Now there are pros and cons here. Pros will be, if this will be done, then the dissemination will be on time. MCs and other directives will be received on time. MC directive will be acted upon since it will be received on time and advance, they will be acted upon. Availability of person to ask clarification will still be available because they will be able to contact if there will be clarifications regarding the MCs. Now the cons is the prioritization of the MC or directive over the current activity. Since you will assign somebody, that person will have a previous job and then it will be an additional job for that. So there will be a prioritization to be done. Dissemination of through media outlet will be hampered, and no formal execution of the MCs or directive because MC should be distributed by the heads, the PMs. Then number two, regularly updating of field officers' contact numbers. Since field officers can be easily informed with this because field officers have a tendency to change numbers. So we have to have the latest number. Pros and cons. Cons needs to be updated the personal record because old records all the time, new records all the time. And number three, inform concerned personnel if MCs has been disseminated through email or courier. And then the pros for these are MCs directives will be immediately acted upon, updated fieldmen on MCs directives, and the cons will be intermittent internet connection courier did not deliver the documents on time, and the fieldman needs to relate new MCs. Now, for our preferred option, it is the first, which is if the PM is not around, then ask permission from the head of office if the MC or directive can be designated to the field office. Thank you.
A pleasant afternoon to our regional management team. I will now be presenting the action plan for our identified problem. So I am glad to inform the team that the strategies that we have identified do not entail any cost on the budget on the part of our regional office. So for the first action plan, the program manager, the person who will be in charge of this, will assign another staff or personnel in the division to disseminate the memorandum circulars when the program managers are not around. And for the second strategy, which will also be done by our program manager, is to advise the field offices that the new MCs or directives have been disseminated through email. And for our third strategy, is rather for the field officers to inform our provincial offices that they have updated or changed or added their contact numbers. And also for the employees who will be traveling, they have to submit their request for travel to the regional office 5 days in advance. So these are our identified short-term strategies. And for our long-term direction or strategies, the first is to observe a routing process schedule, and the second is to issue dissemination protocols through a regional order.
So for our request for decision, we humbly recommend that if the program manager is not around, a pre-assigned staff personnel will take charge in asking permission from the head of office to disseminate MCs to the field offices through emails and fax within an hour after receipt of the document. And then on the key issues, some MCs and directives are not immediately acted upon because of the untimeliness in reaching the field offices. So our desired outcomes in this is that memorandum circulars are distributed to field offices on time by observing a routing process schedule and assigning another staff or personnel in the division to disseminate the MCs and directives to be able to attain timeliness in the submission of reports and compliance to MCs. And then for our response options, if the program manager is not around, ask permission from the head of office if the MC or directive can be disseminated to field offices. So there should always be a regular update for field officers' contact numbers, and then inform concerned personnel if MCs have been disseminated through email or courier. And for the implication of recommendation, in general, there would be effective implementation of the department's PPAs. And then for organizational, the field officers will be able to responsibly perform the required outputs in relation to the MCs and directives. And for the financial, there would just be minimal budgetary requirements. And then for the application and communications, the immediate action on MCs and directives of the department from the reliable, we'll also have reliable reports are prepared and submitted. So that would, any feedback from RD Manubal?
Yung presentation pero ubus-ubos ubus-ubos. What is that minimal amount? Financial. What is minimal budgetary? What minimal for you may mean maximal for me.
As earlier explained by Ms. Alvero,
what gets the idea?